Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome to the as of yet award winning that 40k Lunchtime Show with an asterisk this time because it's slightly later than your normal lunch. We apologise. Well, I apologise. Unfortunately, the NHS let me down. They're supposed to come and talk to Oscar and see how he's getting on, but no, they decided not to show up and then let us know 12:30 that they weren't going to be turning up. So here we are, a mad dash later, and we are here to fill your early afternoon show instead. But it's going to have all the usual goodness. So thank you very much for joining us. As always, I'm joined by my panel of experts. Jack, how has your week been, good sir?
It's been pretty chill actually. LGT finished. I was like, well, what am I gonna do? And I went and looked at Sisters again. I
Okay.
played 2 games with Sisters on TTS, both of which were over in 20 minutes, and went, wow, I like this faction a lot. So yeah, pretty good really. Enjoying the quiet.
Oh, good. Excellent. So Jack's back on Sisters. Everyone's happy. Nice. Um, and how are you, Mr. Edwards?
I'm all the better for seeing you two. You know what I mean? This makes my Monday afternoon. But yeah, it's not too bad. I played a couple of games with Eldar over the weekend. They were pretty good. I played against Adam and David. Turns out Eldar are still good. Who knew? You know, this is obviously news to everyone.
Who knew?
So yeah, there was a couple of really good games, and I've played a couple of games with World Eaters because I've been put into World Eater jail, and that's gonna be fun. And yeah, so I mean, World Eaters seems to be fun, so I'm excited to play them. I'm gonna be painting them next week, and I'm taking them to Glasshammer GT. So that's gonna be fun.
Glasshammer GT, the good old World Eaters. Have you got any Forge Fiends in your list?
No, no, no.
Is it just
Gun,
all
guns are
infantry?
lame. No, no, me all infantry. That's not something I would do.
That's not a thing, is it? Who on
Yeah,
earth would accuse you of that?
I
Look,
absolutely have indeed gone for an all infantry World Eaters spam, and that's basically what I'm going to go for. I'm trying it out over the weekend to see what the matchups are like that I probably don't know yet, and just get some reps in and get a feel for it. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty exciting. So I'm going to be doing that for now.
lovely. Very exciting. Ed the World Eaters main. You heard it here
Mhm.
first.
And thank
Lovely.
you,
Well,
Charlie. Jack's lined up. It looks amazing. Sorry, I want to jump in there.
that's all right. Yeah. Yeah, Ed was just waxing lyrical on TikTok about how Jack's line has gone down. So
Hmm.
good use for
I
it.
I tried a little bit. Sometimes, occasionally, I'll paint a nice model, and then the rest of them look yeah.
Occasion. Right. Well, in today's show, there's some exciting fans for Tau news for fans of Tau and Space Wars. So we'll have a quick talk on that. Obviously, you've just had the Las Vegas Open. Very exciting. We've then got our classic game. Who am I? We've only got one list in the list surgery today to talk about, and then we have got a bit of a spicy Dear Deirdre today. It's sent anonymously to me
Oh,
individually. So very excited to get the guys' opinions on this one. So the week in Warhammer, there is a new kill team that has been revealed, which is Space Wolves and Tau. Let's start with you, Ed. You're a Space Wolves main
I
occasionally.
am.
What are your thoughts on the new Wolves stuff?
I mean, it looks great. It's all in Phobos armor. So, like, you got a Phobos armor and room freeze and Phobos armor, which looks awesome. It looks like they've basically got some Hounds of Mordecai-esque stuff, which just has newer models that looks better. One thing that I really like about it, obviously, I'd love to show you a screen. Basically, from the adverts, it looks like they're doing a lot more of like the modular terrain that all slots into sets, like the boarding action. So,
Yep.
like, got like lots of walls going around, very Space Hulk-esque vibe. So I feel like that's something that they might be looking at doing in 11th edition. Like very much so, have boarding action as more of like a Space Hulk vibe, which would be really really cool. I mean, obviously that's just completely vibes. Like I just from looking at the terrain that they've done and the way they've sort of looked, the way they've done this set of the kill team. The Tau also look really good. It's more of a stealth suit esque stuff. So basically, you've got two of the stealthy units in each of the factions who are fighting off in the kill team, and the actual box looks really good. Like the models look great. I haven't looked at the rules. I don't really play kill team, but I imagine Space Wolf mains out there will be grateful to have some element of maybe not full Hounds of Mordkai, but some sort of Hounds of Mordkai looking dudes, some Phobos armor Space Wolves, which look fantastic.
Nice. And Jack, as a Tau main, do you have any opinions on anything in this box?
I mean, the new stealth suits are just a nice update to the models, right? I don't think anyone's going to complain about their unit being a bit more modern, looking a little bit nicer. I do wonder if they'll actually have some different rules to the normal stealth suits, like the special Raveners did compared to normal Raveners.
Yeah.
That will be interesting to see. Not that I want Tau to have more
Yes.
units that are good at guiding. Not with the stealth suit buff anyway. If they do something else, then fine. But yeah, I think the Space Wolf stuff looks great as well. The Rune Priest dude is very cool. Nice to see them bringing Wolf Scouts back, because they were very much their own unique thing.
Anyway,
yeah, they used to just be better ballistic skill than normal scouts and stuff like
Yeah.
that, because they're like the veterans instead of the sort of neophyte Space Marines. So
Mhm.
Yeah. And and as I say, I've just got some of the models up now. I'm looking at them; they just look so much better. I mean, they've got more scouts, but it almost looks like they're in Phobos armor. It's like less the scout armor, more like Phobos-y.
no, it is scout. They're missing the pauldron, right? Phobos has the like shoulder pad on one of the shoulders.
Oh, okay. The one I'm looking at looks very marine-y, so maybe I'm just looking at the wrong one. But
Ed, they'll
yeah,
have a
it looks
4-up
nice.
armor save. That's all that matters.
No!
They'll have a 4-up armor save.
Ed will
I
still
don't
take
want
30. It's fine.
If 30 are allowed and they're 50 points for 5, I'll take 30. You know.
There we go. So yeah, that's it. Otherwise, we haven't had a huge amount of news. Obviously, traditionally a very big event, the world's largest event historically, the Las Vegas Open, usually held in January, has been moved to the weekend just gone. A huge event, usually over 1,000 people. Breaking news this year, or this weekend just gone, it was only just over 500. In fact, halved in size. Why? Why do you think that the historically biggest tournament in the world has suddenly halved in size? Jack, you got any opinions on that?
I mean, that part of that feels that the date moving doesn't really help, right? It's a big trip for people to plan for, and after the last LVO, which was in January, that gives people 8 months to prep for that trip, and at least for international visitors, that's a very expensive trip to go. Oh, I'm just going to do that in 6 months, right? A lot of people have to plan their year around that. I mean, also the fact that it conflicts date-wise with what we had, 2 massive events the weekend before with LGT and Challengers Cup, and you have too many things for people to do at the same time, so they can only do one of them. So that's what I feel happened.
As someone who went to LVO in January, Ed, is this a good tournament to attend?
Well, without slamming it too much, because I don't want to be too negative, because we don't like too much negative stuff around events, especially since everyone has their own views on it, right? But I didn't have a great experience personally. Like, I lost round 1 after being paired up twice into round 3 because someone said they're on an objective when they weren't, and it was just a whole thing. Like, it was just a whole thing. And the fact that the judges didn't respect, just the fact that judges didn't respect that the score was submitted and it was spoken at the table, and they relied on an audio with a stream with no audio. I can't hear the context of the conversation that's happening around you. It's all very frustrating. And obviously the judges' calls, I've heard horror stories. You know, I've heard a lot of the times it's just ruling towards people who go over there and travel over there. It doesn't go in their favor ever. Not even like it should. Not even like if they're wrong and it doesn't go in their favor. As in, like, they could be making a completely legitimate, complaint about a movement or a rule that's been used wrong. And generally speak, like one lad from, I'm not going to name the team, but one lad that I went over there with, he had a situation where he said, "Oh, I think it was squid bombs or something, where you could throw them all at the same time, or you couldn't throw them all at the same time, or something along those lines." And he said the correct thing, and the judge that was stood literally 5 feet away from the table walked over and said, "Yeah, you can do that." And the same judge kept going over and just ruling against him every time. Even though he would sit there and be like, "That's a 6-inch charge. I'm measuring it. It's in front of me. It's a 6-inch charge." And the judge would be like, "No, it's a 4," and just stuff like that. And then when the chips are down, then when as soon as they actually left, they saw that player leave. He was going to dinner with that ref, and like they were just drinking at the bar together and stuff like that. Obviously, not saying that's the reason why he ruled against it. It could have just been a mistake or whatever, or context of things could be said. But the optics aren't good, especially off the back of what happened to me. So, an American player has said, "Oh, I won that game. I promise. Yeah, we'll change the score." It's like, and I find that's something that does happen. I've heard quite a few horror stories about that, and like a lot of people say a very similar thing, right? Where they just turn around and go, "Well, actually, I didn't." I actually chatted to the owner about it as well. He's a nice guy. Like, he's a nice guy who runs the event and stuff. But I just think the ref, unless they sort out their refs, I wouldn't go back, because I see the stream and you see all the same refs who were there the year that I went. And I just wouldn't go back, just because. You don't want to spend almost like $2,000 to go on a trip and then just have something silly ruled against you that you're completely right with. So I wouldn't. I like Vegas. I think going once is a great idea, but I just wouldn't go back personally.
Yes, fair. I mean, I think it's really interesting, isn't it? Because we're very aware over here that, like, when you talk about, I don't know, even when you talk about like Warhammer teams, all it takes is one of your team members to be caught doing something, and that can genuinely have like quite a big snowball effect on your own team and like your reputation and that sort of thing. And it's exactly the same with events, right? Like, if we ran an event and there was a bit of drama, that could quite easily snowball. And because this is quite a small community in word spreads, and you take something like the LVO, as these stories kind of occur and come out, and even if we were to say that most of the judges there are great and most of the players there are great, you don't talk about those things because those are the standard, that's the accepted practice, right? Well, that's what it should be. And like LGTs over here are usually more remembered when there's a bit of drama, which has happened occasionally in the past. And yeah, like, these businesses have to be so careful now. And you feel like, I mean, because I know there's quite a big thing about a guy who was apparently a well-known cheat was allowed to play in the event as well, which I know a lot of people in the community weren't happy with. Nice little super chat there.
Yeah, thanks, Cathal. I wasn't crying. I was pointing out that sometimes refs make bad decisions. But yeah, as I say, I think you're right. I think it's very much so. The refs who are there as well aren't really supporting what the ethos around what the current community is about. Not as in like every time, but on that same vein. Like, if there's not a known cheat that like is in the circuit, then just don't let them come. Just refuse them service. Just return their ticket. Just don't have it. Just don't do it. Right. There's no point in risking your own reputation by having one person turn up and have a bad experience, especially if your refs make bad decisions. Because if you have a cheat that turns up and cheats and the ref rules with them, that's just double bad. Do you know what I mean? Not saying that has happened or will happen, but it just opens yourself up to risk. So
yeah, we managed to let Ed have a little bit of therapy time.
I needed that.
10 months on from the event. So anyway, let's dive into LVO, because it is, of course, now done. And Ed, you are, as always, so far ahead of the meta.
Of course.
When it comes to this sort of thing, because the winner of LVO is Wesley St. Hines, also known as Nemo, I believe.
Yes.
As you can see, he won all of his games apart from one, which he drew. He's on Astra Militarum. However, he wasn't on your beautiful combined arms type start of list. Oh, no. He decided to have no back. And as you can see from his title here, how in the world do people actually enjoy playing this? So he is Recon. For those of you who don't know Recon, if you ever see that in the list name, get prepared to keep on scrolling, because it's going to have a lot of stuff. So We've got triple KD and Castellan. We've got triple command squad. We've then got Gaunts, Ghosts, Ursula Creed. And then let's get to the battle line. So we've got 20 Cajun shot troopers, 20 Cajun shot troopers, 20 Cajun shot troopers, 20 Cajun shot troopers. And then we've got 10 Catachans, 10 Catachans, and then 10 Death Corps of Krieg, 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 20 Death Corps of Krieg. It's a really fun list to read. 10 more, and 10 more, and 10 more, and 20 more, and 20 more. And then 10 Rough Riders, 10 Rough Riders, and a Scout Sentinel.
That's actually very similar to what I ran at Glasshammer GT, like the big one, the Super Major.
So talk us through it, Ed.
Yeah, so if you scroll up to the top, we'll start to go down. Effectively, this is like 200 plus dudes, plus a bit of damage. So Castellans give you a unit fallback and shoot, and sustained. Then they go to the Cadian Command Squad, which has a bunch of plasma, and they go into 20-man dudes. And the I'm guessing the Command Squad has a banner for the extra OC. Can't see it. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he went for something else. No, he didn't. He didn't go for the banner, so I'm guessing he went for the Medipack instead or something.
Yeah, it's got a Medipack.
There you go. So yeah, basically, if you go, you can have a banner for extra OC in that unit, and it basically means that you have OC 3 dudes standard, and they go to OC 4 with the order. Now, some people might say that's overkill, but I think it's fun to have 2 dudes give you 8 OC, because I'm an OC main. And basically, these 20-man bricks are going to walk around, exist, and also I'll talk about the main element of the list, which is recon, right? So they've got a rule which means they always have benefit of cover. If they're already in cover, they get +1 to their save. So effectively, with the Castellans and with the 3 Castellans, the 3 Cadian Command Squads, the Gaunts, Ghosts, and Ursula, you can pump out a lot of orders. And obviously with the Vox and stuff, you can have a lot of reach on those orders. So effectively, what you're doing with this list is going +1 save. Everyone, go on, +1 save. You're all good. Let's go and do the thing. And then when they all have their +1 save, they get the +1 save from the detachment rule and the +1 save from the order, and then cover. So basically, you've got Marine Guardsmen with 1 wound. That's up to 3, sure. But like effectively, they've got a 3-up save and cover. So AP1 shooting without ignores cover. If you're in cover, they've just got 3-ups. And then when you're looking at like 300 plus dudes, sorry, not 300 plus, 200 plus dudes that you're having to shoot off with that amount, you're not really going to be able to do that in a meaningful way unless you have a very specific list to be able to do so, which is what the whole idea of the stat check is. On top of that, they've got a lot of good anti-deep striking tech. So in fact, they can make a 20-man, 12-inch deep strike denial, or just a big 10, or just a scout and 10.
And they also just cover the entire board, so it's quite hard to fit.
Cover the board. Just cover the board. So it's on top of that. It's more the fact that they can basically stop any 6-inch charges from hitting them from the front as well. So a Warp Bane are just doing it on a scheme, so they can't like deep strike, a unit down, then do the 6-inch deep strike to charge. It's just like, cool, I know exactly what. In your reinforcement step, you go, right, I'm going to choose this unit. They have to be 12-inch deep strike tonight. I've planned that if you want to charge somewhere, it's going to be over there that I don't care about. Or if you're going to charge over there, I'll make a -2 charge. Then suddenly you're looking at an 8-inch charge, which is not as reliable, right? So a lot of this tech works really well. Obviously, the one thing this will fall over to is ignore cover in volume. So like anything that can, go, there's 20 dudes dead with ignore cover. One thing that I found did that was Rep X's with just all the guns with the Gladius strat for ignore cover and AP. That'll just lift a squad. But like, lots of anything like that is very annoying. The 2 to 10 Rough Riders are there for counterpunch. Also, they can go up in the air and just like chill, because that's what recon do. Also, the main thing is, guys, it's just 1,000 OC. Like they'll just keep dumping OC on there. They'll give them +1 save. They'll give them +1 OC in their command phase. Then they can deep strike the Gaunt's Ghost back down and give that unit +1 save again. I believe I haven't really used Gaunt's Ghost very much, but like you can basically reactively give them that. You can basically deep strike the Gaunt's Ghost down, give them move. Let's say, give them the extra movement, and then deep strike the Gaunt's Ghost down and give them +1 save because they do their order when they land. I think that's right. If Jack wants to correct me on that, he's more than welcome to.
That is, as far as I'm aware, completely correct.
Yeah, I thought so. And basically, it's also just a shed load of plasma. Like those 20-man Cadian bricks. I can't remember the exact maths on it. I think it's like plasma pistol. So that's 3 plasma shots, 2 plasma guns makes up to 7. 2 plasma guns in the big brick goes up to 11. then +1 shot makes it go up to 15, I believe. And they all have sustain, and they can all have and they can all overcharge and all that sort of thing. And if they die, you can just bring them back because they have meta packs. So it's also like not an unreasonably bad amount of damage as well. Like just if it's shooting at like marine bodies or shooting at Eldar bodies, they'll just die, no problem. But that's effectively what this list will do quite well. The one weakness I think this will have if it runs into like 50 plus berserkers, or like anything that will mean that he needs to do, or any blood surge sort of army that will mean he needs to do a couple of activations. Like those accursed bricks will be really annoying for him as well. And basically combat pressure should just choke this out, because I know that you have a reactive move and a -2 charge strat, but you can only do it once. Like if you just go, okay, cool, you have to show me 2 or 3 units to do your secondaries. Fine, I'll just send between 2 of them. One of them's going to react to me, one of them's not. I'll charge the rest, tag something, and then if you fall back, I'll just blood surge into the thing that you've fallen back with, and then it starts to snowball. But I think the list is really good. I've used it; it's very strong. Am I surprised it won LVO this year with these sort of armies that are very good? Yeah, I'm quite surprised actually. But I know Nemo's quite good, and he's been having some success with it. So fair play to him, and I think it's a good one.
Lovely. Well, if that was first place, second place, once again in the final, was Deathwatch. It won it last year. And as we know, we have our resident Deathwatch main here. Jack, you know all the rules. You never get them wrong. So...
Sorry, I'm just looking at his list, and I'm seeing he's got the Beacon Angelus, which, as we all know, lets you rapid ingress.
It absolutely does.
There was no need for that, Chris.
I don't know.
There was no need for that.
No one would not know that, right?
Yeah, that'd be pretty embarrassing.
Anyone who doesn't is just blatantly cheating. So.
Yeah, it's the only way you could ever win a GT, mate. So anyway, setting Reddit aside, shall we talk? Do you want to talk us through why this is such a wonderful list, Jack?
Okay, so Deathwatch. I'm honestly surprised we don't see more of them than we do, because they theoretically have some of the highest damage output in the game, I think, of any faction. On their go turn, their stuff just hits like a truck. You're talking army-wide sustained hits. 2 units are going to have ignores cover, 2 units are going to have +1 AP, they're going to have 2 Oath of Moment targets, they're going to be re-rolling hits against 2 different things. The Indomitor kill teams, they get +2 strength. Like, this army kills stuff when it wants to kill stuff, and I think a lot of people, when they play it the first time, underestimate actually how much output is in these Deathwatch lists. So yeah, going through the list itself, he's got Captain Gravis armor with Thief of Secrets. This dude is actually a bit of a combat beast. He gets +1 damage on all of his melee weapons, and I think the dude with the extra attacks actually has like 8 or 9 attacks, which will be at damage 2 and damage 3, and if he kills something, up to damage 3 and damage 4. And he gets +2 strength on the charge in an Indomitor kill team. But the main reason this dude is here is Deathwatch actually have some of the best CP economy in the game. In that, effectively, their captain obviously gives out a free stratagem, which if you target his own unit, and how the Deathwatch strats works, if you target a kill team, you get to target a second kill team as well, with the same use of the strat. So you get to do two units for free with the strat, basically. And then the Watchmaster also has a free stratagem, but it's got a different name and it's worded differently, so you get to use both free stratagems. And this effectively means the Deathwatch player has 4 CP a battle round before they do anything, card discards and stuff like that. So some really phenomenal CP economy here. He's got a Judicia with Beacon Angelus. This gives the squad deep strike and lets them rapid ingress for free, but not a second time. That's the important bit. Who will inevitably join probably, a unit of Deathwatch veterans. And then that comes in as a nice little rapid ingress, fights first unit.
Yeah.
That can be a little bit annoying. It's almost definitely going to attach itself to the 10-man unit that he's got there. Deathwatch veterans themselves, just solid little punchy combat pieces, not super expensive, but they are just marine bodies. They can kind of just fall over. Intercessor squad to Sticky the Home. 2 Deathwatch Terminator squads. These dudes are, I think, one of the best units in Deathwatch. They get 3 Cyclone missile launchers and a 5-man unit, and they get to have 2 Thunderhammer Storm Shields, so you get all the guns you want, while 2 of your Terminator models have 4 wounds. This makes them very stodgy to get through. And they've got the kill team keywords, so they get to use all the strats. An Incurser squad, which is great in Deathwatch because it can give all of your big bricks +1 to hit against the thing you want to shoot at. He's got 2 Indomitor kill teams. These are just effectively 10 3-wound toughness 6 Space Marines with an assortment of guns. It's worth noting that the Deathwatch heavy bolters and the bolt rifles get an additional point of damage and AP over their normal variants. So their heavy bolters are AP 2 damage 3 and their bolt rifles are AP 2 damage 2. Infiltrator squad screen out the back. Thunderstrike is the one that gives ignores cover, I believe. So again, he's got incursors, this Thunderstrike, his damage buff. So if there's a target on the board he wants dead, it's going to die. And then just a Vanguard vet unit with jump packs. I'll be honest, I don't know what that's here for. It's just a unit, I guess. Yeah, fast moving infantry goes and does something. Other than that, not really too sure. I think it is worth saying that I don't think Deathwatch work as well on WTC, but on UKTC and GW, I think they're pretty lethal. Those are 2 terrain formats, which these sorts of uppy, downy shooting armies have some really powerful sight lines that they get to play with. And there's not a lot your opponent can do to screen them out efficiently without just effectively sacrificing units and losing the long game. Yeah, so I'm absolutely not surprised to see Deathwatch do fairly well at both LVO and get a decent placing at LGT as well. So
yeah, well, I lost to him, which was sad. They just killed me. I was like, fair enough. Elves don't like it. They don't like it.
So there you go. Now in third place we've got Folger Piles, obviously current world champion. And then Benja of Chaos Knights. So we've got a nice little mix here. I know like it wasn't 4 of the top 8 all Art of War players. Skari came in 6th. I'm just going to now look at this just because I want to talk about Grey Knights. Because, you know, sometimes I get to talk about things as well. So obviously I played Banishers at LGT and I really enjoyed it. It was really good fun. So let's have a look, see what the American version of Banishers is, and let's see what you think as well, Ed. So we've got double Librarian. In Banishers, that probably means there's going to be some Terminators or Paladins around. We've then got Crow. We've then got 1 Grandmaster with in Nemesis Dread Knight with reroll 1s to hit and shooting. 1 Strike squad for Scout and Sticky. A Rhino squad. 10 Interceptors. They'll be bouncing in and out of the Rhino. That's really nice to be able to do. I really enjoy a Rhino and 10 Interceptors. And then 5 Interceptors, which I think 10-5-5. I ran 10-10-5. I think realistically you probably do go 10-5-5. 25 Interceptors was probably too many. Then we've got a baby Paladin squad and another baby Paladin squad. So that's quite interesting. That's what the Librarians will be with. The Librarian gives them 18-inch line-up. Paladins now get back on model, can regen models. You can stick 1 out, tank a bit of shooting, die, and then regen back onto objective. Then got 10 Purifiers with Crow and a Calidus and a Calixus. That is funky. This is quite interesting because this list doesn't really seem to kill anything. But it would have done Banisher tricks. Obviously the main draw here is Mists or Shadows of Anarch. 2 lone op things are quite nice, but those Paladins, I mean, they're okay, but they're small. They still will just die. They'd have had to be played really well. He's got quite a lot of stuff because he's got the 2 Interceptor units and he's got a couple of Assassins. But yeah, trust me, this list doesn't really kill very much at all. It's very much a generic Grey Knight list, well-rounded, but all about being played well. And I am very impressed that he managed to pilot that to, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. 7 wins in a row. Yeah, fair play. Ed, do you have any thoughts on the Banishers list?
Yes, I do. So effectively, yeah, you're right. It does no damage. So like it doesn't do any damage. I mean, the only thing that would worry me here is any of the top armies. Basically,
Any army that can kill shit.
yeah, like I don't know. Like I think the idea that you can res paladins and stuff is nice. The loan up is cool. The loan up is cool, but the paladins themselves are so expensive. It's like, well, how much they work out to? 45 points each.
Yeah,
Oh god. And they move 5 in the
two
charge. They
little
can be.
four-mans as well. Like, do you need that? I'll be honest with you guys. If I was just to look at this list, I would have expected this to be a very mid-table list.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, the lad's played it very well, or he's
Yeah.
had some very good pairings, or well, it's got to be a mix of both, probably, right? But I feel like this is very much so. You're trying to use your miss, you're trying to use your, uppy downy, you're trying to use your rapid ingress at the correct points and stuff, and you're trying to not die is the important bit. And I think he's clearly done it for at least 6, 7 rounds. So
Yeah, I
fair
think
play to him.
yeah, I would put it this way: if I was new to Grey Knights, I would not recommend this list to someone.
No, I wouldn't either.
This
But
would be an incredibly hard list to pilot effectively. I mean, his scores, barring a couple of 70s and 80s, so he's done pretty well. Yeah, I'd have to research how he's done, but yeah, fair play to the guy. Fair play, Donovan, if you're watching.
yeah, he just played. He just played. I think he just played it really well.
He just must have played very, very well. So well done. I don't know if it was on stream at all, on any of the streams, but yeah, fair play. So as we scroll down, obviously the idea here is we're analysing the meta, right? So we've got Guard, Deathwatch, Eldari, Chaos Knights, Tau, Drukhari, Grey Knights, Admech, Thousand Sons, Imperial Knights, Mr. Grundy from UK, Tau, Black Templars, Death Guard. It's not until we get to 14th where we've got repetition here. Sisters sneaking into the top 16 as well. So we do have more Eldari than anything else in the top 16. But then as we keep moving on here to those who almost got through, kind of again, Imperium. What on earth is Imperium? Please tell me it's his agents. Yeah, that's boring. Blood Angels. Yeah, okay, got excited for a moment. So is there anything that jumps out at you, Jack, in terms of how the meta is shaping up based on this? Any other
Just
things?
seems to be pretty balanced, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly the most varied meta we've seen in a while. And there's not even, aside from maybe Eldar, which crops up a few times, but that's because they tend to be a top player favorite. There's really not anything that you see like 2 or 3 times except Tau, which is definitely not because of the faction. I think it's definitely just the people who are playing them. Yeah, I think it's a very interesting and varied meta at the minute, and I suspect a lot of these results are actually coming down to what works on any given terrain format, which is an interesting spot to be in. It's certainly the most balanced game we've seen in a long time. So
Absolutely. So get out there, paint up your 300 guardsmen, and go take something. We did have a comment in the chat actually, which from Never, which was if knights force you to build your army one way to have a chance at beating them, and that's considered toxic, is the recon guard list toxic as well? Is it bad for the game, Ed?
you need to add him back to the thing.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so it kicked me out. It kicked me out, but it's fine. Oh, no, is it toxic? Yes, massively toxic. It's awful, but we love it because it's 200 and something guardsmen, right? It's much more fun than Imperial Knights, right? No, in answer to your question, nothing's toxic to an extent of stat check unless it's Necrons, is my honest opinion.
Yep. Not that you're biased in any way.
Nah, basically, I'm not going to call it what it's not. It's 100% a stat check. Is it toxic? Probably not. I mean, I don't think I think toxic's the wrong way to call these things because it's obviously a niche in the meta that he thought he could, utilize it for a horde to try and go and win LVO, and it worked, right? And is that? I think if a knight player won, I don't think anyone would turn around and say. I mean, yes, probably would say that the night list is a stat check at some stage or whatever. but it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that if it wasn't enhanced with someone else, it wouldn't be good. So is it a stat check? Yes. Is it easy to pilot? In the early rounds against people who just simply do not have the output, no. But in the games where they do have the output and you have to play correctly to not die, yes, there is quite a heavy amount of skill application there, and there is a lot of area for skill expression. Also, a lot of the tricks within that list is in the charge phase, so because you can do like long bomb and like arc charges and stuff. But I don't think it's toxic. I don't think it's toxic. I think it's a stat check. It depends what you think if you think a stat check is toxic or not. Personally, not massively.
As someone who plays stat checks, Ed does not find it toxic.
I don't think stat checks are that toxic. I think because ultimately every stat check in the meta currently has an answer. So if you're taking a stat check, you're accepting at some point you're going to hit something that can answer your stat check. Yeah. I think a stat check that can't be answered at all throughout the entire meta could be classified as toxic. But if you've got stat checks that can be answered, then it's fine. Or one that isn't just straight up 50-50, like Invuns. Don't like Invun stat checks, but 3-up armors are way better.
Yeah,
and that's kind of my view.
There we go. Right. Okay. So with that, it's now time to head on to our classic game. Who am I? Remember, you can always play along at home, but don't write your answers in the chat because we don't give them an advantage. We are 3-4 rounds in now, and it is neck and neck. It's 12-all between.
Oh, is it 12-all?
It's currently 12-all between Jack and Ed. For those of you who don't know, who are new here, I'm going to reveal a series of precedingly easier clues, and each time the player is going to be using those clues to try and work out who I am talking about. And eventually they'll have decided on someone, and that's the amount of points they score. So, round one. Over 300 years ago, this character was known as a brilliant young warrior. Over 300 years ago, this character was known as a brilliant young warrior. Hello, Sprayback Studios. You're just in time for the best game ever. So remember in your head, be thinking who it is. Do you both have an answer written down?
Yes.
I have an answer written down.
Good. Well, I hope that it's not the right one. Number 2, this character rose to fame for defeating orcs.
Okay, mine's okay. I think I'm gonna keep mine the same.
It's always worrying. For those of you who haven't missed previous shows, Ed's got quite a certain knack, should we say an instinct, for completely randomly, flukingly guessing the character around one. Because obviously these clues are supposed to be very hard in the early rounds. Jack, do you have someone written down?
Yes.
Okay. Round 3. This character is named after their first great triumph.
Oh shit, I might be wrong. Shit.
Shame. Let us know in the chat when you think you've got it, by the way, if you're confident. Don't tell us who, but let us know if you think you've got it. Have we got names?
I've got a name.
I've got a name. I don't think it's the right name.
Yeah, I also don't think mine is the right name, but
this character is known for their patience.
Huh?
This character is known for their patience.
I think I've got it now. Actually, I'm probably wrong, but
it's always hard to come up with the clues. Right? What I'm finding is actually I'm desperately just don't go for the Primarchs. Don't go for the Primarchs. Don't go for Horus Heresy.
It's not a Primarch. Shit. Nah, I'm joking.
Yeah, you really fucked up if you think it's still a Primarch.
No, you're good.
And clue number 5. This character was one of Commander Puretide's greatest students.
Yeah.
His character was one of Commander Puretide's greatest students.
I'm still not sure. It's out of 2 for me.
You are correct. Yeah, I think.
I've got two potentials, and I actually I've written down one from the off, so I'm just going to go with it and see what happens.
All right. So
not from the off, from the second.
Okay. So so it's when you stopped changing over, right? So we'll go for this. So round 1, Ed, who did you write down?
I wrote down Gulliman. I don't know.
Gulliman. Okay.
I realized 300 years ago was a very terrible, terrible decision to write that down.
Jack, after round 1, who did you write?
I have to put Marnius.
Marnius Calgar. Okay, cool. All right, so you're not right there. Round 2, Ed, who did you write?
I wrote down Farsight.
You wrote down Farsight. Okay. Jack, who did you write down?
I just put Pedro Cantor for like the next 3 because I had no idea. So.
Okay. Ed, who did you go for round 3?
I didn't know if he was named after a great triumph, but I just wrote him down again.
So I was like, Farsight?
Yeah, okay. I kept with Farsight.
And you were still with Pedro, Jack?
Yeah.
Round 4, Ed, who did you go for?
At this point, I was like, fuck, is it Shadow Sun? No, it wasn't this one. It was the next one I thought it might be Shadow Sun. I wrote down Farsight again.
You stayed with Farsight, okay.
Yeah, I did.
And Jack, number 4, are you with Pedro?
Yep, still.
Still with Pedro? Okay. And so, Ed, we get to round 5. Have you stuck with Farsight?
Yeah, I did. I was debating between Shadow Sun or not, but I was like, fuck it. If I'd rather get 4 points if I'm correct, or 1 point if I was wrong.
Okay. And Jack, who did you change to?
I put Farsight.
You put Farsight. Excellent. Well, I'm delighted to say the answer is, in fact, Commander Shadow Sun.
Oh, I knew it was one of the two. It was one of the two. As soon as you said it was known for patience, I was like, could be Farsight or Shadow Sun.
Yeah. So there's 6 points each. First time the house wins. So it's quite interesting doing the research actually on this one because I know nothing about Tau history. But yeah, because she was actually, so there's Commander Puretide, and then her 2 great students were Shadow Sun and Farsight. Farsight was the really good one, and Shadow Sun was also amazing. And they were going to get put in stasis to like teach future Tau generations when they were when Puretide was dead. But then something happened and they got reawakened a bit earlier and stuff.
Yeah, I know that Shadow Sun and Farsight were both of the student, like his best students. But like I was thinking, known for defeating orcs, then the 300 years thing, and the Great Triumph. I just didn't know. Yeah, I thought Farsight was a pretty good shout, but
absolutely, and you know what? I was very close to doing Farsight, so.
I also didn't know Shadow Sun was known for killing orcs. I didn't know.
Yeah, apparently so. Like the first great battle she won was.
I thought that was also Farsight's thing.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's Farsight's thing to kill orcs. That's why I was like, I didn't know it was.
They're both. I mean, yeah, but how boring! They're both known for beating orcs. Right. So there you are. So you're still tied, and you're now 18 all. There we go. Right. List surgery. We've only got one list today. So as always, if you are a YouTube member, we have 135 YouTube members now, I think. So you would not be alone if you were to join us and become a member, and you get access to lots of members-only content, access to joining our King and the Ping League and all that sort of thing. But also you can post lists in our list surgery section of our YouTube section of our Discord, and we can analyze your list. We've only got one, and I'm curious to see whether either of these two know anything about Final Day. Because we've got Spray Black Studios, who's here in the chat, is here. So, Ed and Jack, how's your Final Day knowledge?
Exceptionally average.
Gargoyles are good.
Mm-hmm. Cool, excellent. Well, I hope you're ready for this cutting-edge feedback, Spray Black Studios. So, obviously, for those of you who don't know, Final Day gives you the ability to take kind of Gene Stealer Cult and Tyranids all together and make them all very tasty. So we've got an Abominant, a Patriarch, a Saboteur, Sanctus, 5 Acolyte hybrids with auto pistols, and 2x5 Acolyte hybrids with hand flamers. Auto pistols are 5 points cheaper, so I assume that's why I've done that. Unit of Aberrants, and then we've got a unit of 1 Heavy Mortar Ridge Runner, and then 2 Heavy Mining Laser Ridge Runners, I think. And then we've got a unit of Atalan Jackals, then we've got a unit of Gene Stealers, a Death Leaper, 2x10 Gargoyles. There you go, Jack, there's your Gargoyles. Then we've got 2 units of Hyper-Adapted Raveners, a Lictor, and a Parasite of Mortrex. I'll let either of you jump in here. I've played into Final Day once before, many moons ago, live on stream into Tom with Custodes. I got absolutely blown apart. So that's my one experience. I can't even remember what it did apart from it shot a lot of things. Tom was running big bricks though, so he had like 1 or 2 of the like 20 man with all the pew pew. But yeah, I'll hand over to you guys. Knock yourselves out.
Yeah, I think the general theory behind this is the tyranny units. Well, I know the general theory behind this is the tyranny sit next to you, make your units betterer, and that is fun. So one thing I know that Davey's really been a fan of when he was using Final Day was the heavy mining laser ridge runners. They are fantastic when they hit on 2s because they can get a spotter and they can hit on 2s. So suddenly hitting on 3s, no rerolls. And I think they can reroll 1 somehow. I can't remember how, but they can, and they can be really effective. So I think having 3 is fine. I think 2-1-1 is what he ran. So if you're considering trying to make sure you pop in transports and stuff like that, then feel free. But that is something you can look at. More Ridge Runner for the extra AP, solid. Saboteur, good. Sanctus, good. Patriarch, solid. Prominent, good. I think this looks like a pretty solid Final Day list, to be honest. I mean, I think the Parasite of Mortrex is a choice. I might be missing something as to the reason why that's there, but I can't remember how many points it is. It might be really, really cheap, but it might be worth looking at getting a Lictor instead.
80 points.
80 points.
And a Lictor's 60.
Yeah, so it might be worth having another Lictor instead, because Lictors in this detachment are really good. Gives you some fight first and AP2 damage to, fighting to go in, just arrive in different areas, which is one of the things the GSE sort of normally struggle with. It's why people normally have 2 or 3 Lictors in each of these Final Day lists, because they're just quite good, especially with Death Leaper as well, another fight first unit. See, I think the hyper-adaptive Raveners are, I think they're pretty solid. I just think it's very hard to deliver them, because I don't think they get advanced and charge in this detachment. So I think it's quite hard to deliver these units to the areas that you really want them to. So not saying they're not good, just saying it's something to consider, especially on the terrain format that you're on as well. If you're on a terrain format that they can stage quite well and have somewhere they can threaten an objective, then you're okay. If you don't, then I would consider trying to find something maybe leading to some more shooting or leading to some other combat threats instead.
They get free rapid ingress. Nice.
They're gonna get free rapid ingress, which is fun. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That gives you a delivery method. You don't get uppy downy though, because that's the eternal thing. But yeah, free rapid ingress is good. So yeah, I think the main thing for me is I don't know why the Parasite's there, but I think you probably want another Lictor, maybe even 2. I don't know what the Alan Jackals do in this detachment, or whether they do anything to buff the rest of your army. If not, then maybe just look and get some more damage from Lictors. Because Lictors just are efficient little low knock pieces which are annoying for your opponent, which also have fight first, for which in the combat matchups can help out quite a bit. And yeah, I think that's my general take. I don't know an incredible amount about Final Day, but I've played it a few times, and the few times that I've played, they have had the things that I have mentioned, and they have been annoying for me to play against.
So the Parasite Mortrex is apparently a model choice. He dislikes the model.
Oh, fair enough. Ignore me then. I will never, recommend not a hobby main decision, because I am indeed a hobby main, as everyone knows.
You are absolutely a tournament winning hobby main, in fact.
I've never won a tournament. It's fine. I have.
So excellent. We did have another thing in the chat from Phil W. So Jack, you can answer this. For the mid-table heroes, what faction would you take to deal with the plethora of 3-2-2-3 players? I'm assuming Chonk, but with knights not disappearing, that seems easily dealt with. So we've got someone who just wants to be able to beat up your standard average 2-3-3-2 player. Doesn't everyone want to be able to do that, Jack? Would you say there's a particular army out there that kind of can just carry you to that 4-1?
I mean, I think any infantry horde army normally does just go 3-2 at minimum, right? That feels like a lot of, like, if you understand the basics of playing the game and your opponent cannot kill you, you will win a certain number of games. I feel like it's leading itself into the yes, you should probably play some form of stat check, whether that's knights, infantry spam, like I don't know. That always feels like the easy way to going at least 3-2. But
So, Chaos Knights guarantee you a 4-1 then, yeah, Jack? Is that what you're saying?
no, at no point did I say that.
I know, I'm joking.
We'll just leave him alone. So yeah, there we are. So 300 guard models. Okay.
Oh, is that Deidre?
No, that was not a Deidre.
Oh, is it a question?
It was just a
I like CK though. CK are good.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. We do have Dear Deirdre. Now, this is what I wanted. When I said let's do Dear Deirdre's, I wanted it to be controversial.
Oh.
I wanted there to be drama. So far, it's been a bit, let's be nice and give advice. Well, this time, we have an outraged viewer. So apocalyptic with rage that they didn't want to be named. They slid into my DMs and they went, don't know if we can bring it. It's so controversial. Now I've spoken it up enough. Let's dive in. Dear Deidre, my friend borrowed a model for a list they wanted to run at AGT. However, on return, the model had some messy repairs and some missing parts. They didn't say anything when returning it. I only looked at the model when I got home. It looks like it was dropped from height, as about 5 parts of the model had broken off. How should I handle this?
Just talk to him, I think.
A friend has borrowed a model. It's clearly broken it. They've not mentioned that they've clearly broken it. How do we? So Ed, just talk to them.
Yeah, so my friend borrowed a model for a list they wanted to run at a GT. However, on returning the model, had messy repairs.
It's a bit broken.
Yeah, I think you talk to them, right? And you just try and sort it out between them. If you're their friend, just go talk to them, and then I'm sure that you guys can sort something out between each other.
What sort of things do we think? Okay, do we think this person has the right to demand anything?
I don't think you'd need to. If you just like bring it up, obviously, I don't know whether. I don't know the context really. Like, obviously, it's one of those things. If it's been dropped from a height of 5, it's gone to 5 bits. Then
so they've had the model. They've lent it to this person. This person has clearly dropped it because bits are broken off and been stuck back on. Some bits are missing. So they've repaired it, but not done a very good job of repairing it.
I'd say message them and ask, just tell them that this is what's happened. And I imagine they should either get you a new one. Or
so would you expect? So if someone borrowed a model,
if I did it, I would just tell the person I broke it, and then I would just say I'll buy you another one, and then I'm very sorry. Not that I'd break stuff, but like it's more so if that happened, then you have to make that conscious effort.
So Ed, do you feel that this person is owed a new model?
I feel like it's down to the responsibility of the person that broke it to replace it. Yes.
Okay. Sure. Jack, Jack, what do you think?
I guess as the expert on lending people their models and receiving them back in a variety of conditions, I feel like I loan my models out, accepting that accidents happen in the same way that if I was using it, I could very easily drop it and knock it on the floor. I would expect the person to tell me that they had broken it. If they did not tell me that and I got it back, I'd be a bit like, well, I'm not best pleased, but fine. I wouldn't expect anything for it. If someone chose to replace it, then up to them. I would leave that choice in their hands. Ultimately, if I'm loaning it out, I shouldn't be upset if an accident happens, right? That's just kind of how things are. If I don't want it to be broken and I care about it, it's not something I'm going to let people borrow. That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. As the person who knows both of these parties, I think that you should definitely talk to the person that did it. They will hold their hands up, I think, and they'll be like, I am very sorry. You're right. And then it's up to you whether you ask for it. I don't know whether they would offer to fix it, but yeah, definitely have a conversation with them about it. They will they will be very apologetic, I'm sure. But hey, there you go. That was our lunchtime show. For the first time, we've also managed to keep it under an hour. There you go. It's possible. It's my understanding that Warhammer has just, or Games Workshop have just revealed the Christmas big army boxes. So we'll be able to talk about that next week and which new army we're starting. That's an exciting one, isn't it? But as always, thank you very much for watching. Get those lists and Deidre's in to us so that we can, fill the world with drama and all that sort of thing. That's what we're here for. And we will see you all again next week, hopefully on time. Bye for now.